Okay, in this video, we are going to look at a few of your drafts of your literature review. I've got 3 of them here. I would have done a couple more, but many of you turned in your synthesis grid instead of an actual draft. And so that won't be super helpful to us here. So we're just going to go with these. And I'll start with an evaluation of the title page for this one. We've got a really good title page here. It's perfect. It says Running Head in small letters with the colon, and then in all caps, the title of the paper. So that's perfect. Then we have literature review, environmental art, a potential for action, the perfect, like it's a good title. It says something, it's not just literature review. We've got the name and the college. So the title page is perfect. Then we look here at the header. You'll notice we have the page number here as number 2. And then we just have the title of the paper here. She's cut the running head part, and so that is also perfect. That's exactly what you want. So in our first paragraph, your introduction for your literature review, what you want to do first is tell us why we're talking about this right now. So environmental art is widely recognized as an effort to be conscious of our control over the earth. Many artists are devoting their work to making uninformed individuals aware of certain global issues such as climate change. Although many humans acknowledge the evidence behind this problem, few are willing to take action. By ignoring it and continuing in our ways, the earth suffers. In my paper, I'm going to address 3 themes. So, what she's done here is she's told us why we are talking about this, and why we're talking about this now. We have a good sense of what the topic is. We're situated within the context, so this is a good start to the paper. Then she jumps into her themes. I am going to address the 3 themes. A literature review is very, very obvious in the way it's organized. And so this is perfect. You can just say, here are my themes. Artists have the power to inspire action against climate change. Collaboration between scientists and artists will be the most effective way to overcome climate change. And a specific kind of art is essential for this issue. So here are 3 topics. And we're just going to highlight those real quick. We'll do this one yellow. And then collaboration between scientists. This one can be green. And then we've got a third one, specific kind of art. And this one we'll make blue. So with your themes like this, what I'm going to look for next when I'm grading your paper is to say, all right, so the first one is the power artists have. So I expect these themes to appear in the order that they're presented. In your introduction, that should match what you have in your paper. So I'm going to look here and say the fundamental theme of this topic that I've drawn from the source, artists have the power to inspire change, right? So that actually is perfect. That matches what you have here. You've got this topic, artists have the power, artists have the power. We've got a good topic sentence. It says exactly what we're doing. And so that is perfect. The next thing, we've got collaborations between scientists and artists. So I'm going to look down here and saying, and we've got it here. I made that one green. So relating to Miles' idea that hands-on art might be more effective. Another common theme in the source is that collaboration of the arts and science communities is essential. So we've got collaboration. That's perfect. And then I'm going to look specific kind of art. So the last body paragraph should say, should talk about the type of art that we're talking about. And it does. Another major theme on the topic is the question of which type of art is appropriate for addressing climate change. So that is perfect. The next thing I'm going to do is look for the synthesis. To have synthesis, you must have 3 things. You must have, actually it's 2 things. You must have more than one source. You have to have at least 2 sources. And you also must have the linking word that shows us how that source relates to the next source. So we've got here both DeBerny Wall 2012 and Hartney 2014 acknowledge that artists who are working on exposing environmental issues are faced with an interesting challenge to respect the science world and maintain data's integrity, right? So we have 2 sources, and they are cited correctly. You've got the year right after the name. You always want to have that when you have a in-text citation like this one. And we're showing that it's agreement. Both of them say this thing. So that's perfect synthesis right there. When artists are successful in surpassing this challenge, Chinese, I don't know how to say that, believes art has the capacity to draw one in, inspire, and shift perspectives through storytelling. Right, so that builds on, it's a continuation, it's sort of like an add-on to what the other one says. Not only does art have the ability to arrest certain individuals' attention and broaden thought, but museums where the works are shown is a generous platform that can attract mass amounts of attention and engage the community to take action, as pointed out by this person. Okay, so here we've got, not only does art do this thing, but it also does the second thing. So this is also an addition. This adds on. So you can see that we have enough sources. We have in total in this paragraph, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sources, unless I missed one. So we've got at least 4 sources in this paragraph, and we haven't even seen the whole paragraph, so that's great. We've got good synthesis with all of these sources. We've got our connecting words. So this is a really great example of what your body paragraphs should look like. Museums can house traditional forms of art, but Thorns adds that art has evolved to the point where other media such as internet provide a greater opportunity for exploration of the topic. And again, we have this connecting word, but Thorns adds, right? So make sure the relationship between these sources is almost just as important as the as just putting them together, because otherwise you just have source stacking, and it's just stacking one fact on top of another fact, and we don't know how that relates. So you need to draw that bridge. So we're going to jump down, because I still want to look at some other papers, to the conclusion. The purpose of the conclusion is to basically summarize what you have here, and then you will find your gap, right? So the gap is the thing that the research isn't saying. So what have we got here? There's still much to be discussed in the colliding worlds of art and science in the mission to involve our societies in combating climate change. Though many have written about how artists have the power to inspire action against climate change, collaboration between scientists and artists being the most effective way to overcome climate change, and specific kinds of art being essential for this issue, this subject is not recognized by the public as worth it. There are organizations that are attempting to bring awareness, but there's little research on how organizations are bringing art and science together, and that is how it is impacting communities. Along with that, addressing this issue to universities and state schools could be a greater solution. Joining the artistic and scientific studies nationwide is a reasonable solution to engaging youth in this issue who undoubtedly care about the future of the planet. Okay, so they're trying to bring awareness, but there's not a whole lot of research on how to bring science and art together. So that's a gap, right? That says what we need to research in the future. There's a little bit more of the solution part to it just now with the thesis. So the gap is followed by a thesis, and that thesis will be what this student will focus on. That will be their point for their report in the next paper. So this is a really strong paper. This is a really good example of what you want to do in your lit review.